This guy, he writes books. He wanted to come do a little reading. I told him he could. Make it loud for Angus Novelmeister, everyone.
Hello, everyone. Thank you. Had to do it tonight. This is one of the last stops on my book tour. I'm going to be in Locke, California tomorrow on a boat in the river. There's going to be megaphones. They're going to be both on the starboard side, so if you're in Locke, just get on that side of the river. I'm not a comedian, but it's fun to be at a comedy show. I have been known to induce a smile or two. There's one, begrudging. He's looking away. It's okay. I'm mostly going to be reading my books. I wrote the Zattlemen series. Do we have any Zattlemen heads in the audience? Oh, you are all in for a treat then. That's awesome. Does anyone like nonfiction odes to bygone eras?
No.
Security, get them out of here! Get them out of here! That'd be the thing. Security in a bookshop. We can keep the jocks out. I'm going to read from my first book, the one that started the series. Zattlemen's Revenge. It's kind of like Dune meets The Foundation meets The Three-Body Problem meets Chaucer's Tales meets L.A. Weather. It's like really good. So, okay. I wrote this book after I was dismissed from my teaching job at CSU Lake Tahoe. I taught on the Nevada side, which subsequently led to the dissolution of my marriage. I won't get too much into it, but it was basically because of my ideals. I wouldn't compromise on my ideals. This book has been called a gripping debut novel by me. It also won the Pushlitzer Prize Award. So. Get into it real quick. All right, and some people say that the main character is kind of like a thinly veiled version of me, but I don't see it. Here's an excerpt. Ribeye emerged from the space-time tube, sweat glistening on his perfect figure after his latest battle, hoping that Admiral Dean wouldn't give him spacecraft for not following space protocol. Ribeye entered Admiral Dean's office and, eager to dominate the interaction, authoritatively spoke first. Hey, I smoked some jacuzas off your space-time tube, now give me my units. Admiral Dean croaked weakly. Ribeye, I should have written you up for that stuff you just pulled. Reckless. You served with honor in the Neo-Bug Wars. You should be Admiral Captain by now, not Zattlemen. Ribeye chuckled to himself. My behavior may seem reckless to you sitting behind your space desk, but I get space results, and I have ideals, and I stand by them. Admiral Dean whimpered, we all know you get space results, but your ideals are going to get you kicked out of the Space Federation, which, as you know, is like getting let go from a prestigious university back on Earth Prime. Ribeye chuckled harder. Anything else? Admiral Dean replied, yes, Moneo keeps trying to grow the space chrysalis. Your only hope to stop Moneo after you have sex consummate your victorious Zattle. And don't you dare decline because of your ideals. Ribeye chuckled really hard and ended up coughing a little. Not gonna happen, because of my ideals. Admiral Dean fired back. I'll double your units fee, just compromise your ideals, just once. Ribeye kicked Admiral Dean really hard and shook his head no, and then kicked him again. That's just from the first book, and that is available for purchase. This next one was published by Random House, and by that I mean I published it at a Random House that I was staying at. I was couch surfing post-divorce. My landlord Moneo kicked me out because I wouldn't stop pouring grease down the drain. Where else are you supposed to put it? Also, my ideals are ruining my life. It was really hard to write this one, but then I thought, what kind of voices do I want to do for the audiobook? And then that just really opened up a whole other world to me. This was #1 on Amazon. Then they did make me put an asterisk sticker on that. It was #1 in amount of characters, not actually in sale. Here's another excerpt from Book of Zattlemen. Zattlemen returns again, too. All right. Ribeye was a gorgeous Zattleman through and through. However, he always thought he could succeed at any field he applied his talents to, whether it be Zattleman, space lawyer, Federation donker, or even author. So he wrote a space tome that was a huge hit and everyone really loved and related with. The only problem was everyone wanted a new space tome now and he didn't know what to write. Suddenly the rocks in the glass of his blue whiskey shook, and Ribbo's space-time tube chugged like a jacuzza in heat, and so many of his friends appeared in his writing nook. "It's a me, here to help you write," Mario from the video game said. "You have got me levitating," Robot Dua Lipa said. "We've had our disagreements, but you're out of sight," the Space Devil said. "I ate space lemonade powder," Sling Blade added. Everyone laughed. "Oh, a Sling Blade, you're a one crazy guy," Mario said. "Let's write that new book by creating some new experiences now. You don't need to compromise your ideals with us," James Carville astutely added. Everyone looked really hot, especially the Space Devil, but Ribeye replied, "I'll never compromise my ideals, not even for those closest to me," which includes you, James Carville, Mario from video games, Robot Dua Lipa, the Space Devil, and Sling Blade. Trying to figure out which book I want to cover up there. So the next book was kind of a change in direction, because in the end of that second book, we actually defeated Moneo in the Space Chrysalis, and I just didn't really know where to go, so I wanted it to be a trilogy, and I thought about really cerebral books, books that smart people like. So I wrote Finite Mirth, a Zattlemen story. It won Doorstopper of the Month from Doorstopper Aficionado. People called it a disservice to David Foster Wallace's legacy and bad. That was the entire public that came together who said that. Doesn't feel good, but I think it's a good book. And for anyone saying that I plagiarized it, I've never read Infinite Jest. Of some interest that the lively arts of the millennium treat anhedonia and internal emptiness as hip and cool. It may be the vestiges of the romantic glorification of Weltschmerz, which means world-weariness or ennui. Maybe it's the fact that most of the arts here are produced by world-weary and sophisticated older people and then consumed by younger people who not only consume art but study it for clues on how to be cool, hip. And keep in mind that for kids and younger people, to be hip and cool is the same as to be admired and accepted and included and so unalone. Also, Moneo was building his damn Space Chrysalis again, and I still got my ideal. So that was the third one in the series. I did call it a trilogy, but I had to dip back into the well for this one, the seventh book. It was actually the fourth I wrote, but I called it the seventh just to give the series a little bit more juice. It's Raining Zattlemen, a Zattlemen story. The screenplay. I figured if I put the screenplay on there, it'd be easier to make it into a movie later. You might see I got the Scholastic Book Fair sticker on this one. They said we don't accept parent submissions of their own books, but the sticker's still on there. This one is actually everyone's kind of favorite book. Everyone who's into Zattlemen, you served before said you were, so yeah, you might like it too. I'm going to read something from chapter 72, Ideal, I Sex. Alright, Ribeye awoke from his erotic dream about the Space Devil to the sound of a slither down his space-time tube. You guys know what comes next. Okay, usually at these readings, I don't even have to read this whole chapter. You guys just do it. So I'll help you get into it. As they writhe in space ecstasy, sucking and chomping and slurping. Okay, guys. All right. That's fine. Drew Absher said this book made me illiterate. One more book, guys. One more book, and then Angus Novelmeister will get the old dusty trail. But this book's called Sheila's Burden. And I actually wrote it about my now ex-wife, and it's kind of hard to read. But I think it's really powerful. So if someone could just read this, it would really help me out. If anyone wanted to come up here.
Missy,
Missy, if you could. Thanks for being a good sport. That's a t-shirt that says, I'm an avid reader of Angus Novelmeister, and oh yeah, I know. If you could just...
I know.
Yeah. Thank you so much. It's just one.
I am a liar. My name isn't Angus Novelmeister. It's Angus Novelmeister Jr. I lie to myself. I lie even when I'm in public book signings. I never taught at CSU Lake Tahoe at I'm a professor at Rockland State in Tulsa. I wrote the Zattlemen series to lash out at my mystery and due to my ideals. The truth is, I have no ideals. The ideals that got me fired and the worst from Sheila were actually me repeatedly putting chocolate pudding cups in everyone's tailpipes at work. Cars starting in the parking garage. Every time people turned their cars on, they sharted. They caught me and made it very clear I couldn't do it again, but I kept making the cars shart. I got fired and blamed everyone but myself, but especially my ex-wife Sheila. Thankfully, I know I am not alone because the person reading this supports me. It even has a shirt that says that. Support Angus Novelmeister. Keep reading. Time to live my life on my own terms. Maybe I just sneak out and I am outside putting pudding cups in tailpipes. Leave me alone. I am no longer Sheila's burden anymore. The end. Wow, I can't believe how good that was. While I have your attention, has anyone wanted to link and build business-wise? No one? Wow. Give it up, you host, that viral white boy, Drew Ashby.